Hello, I'm Talia Madianti Fadley, coming from the Information Systems Study Program. Here I will explain about Business Continuity Audit and Disaster Recovery. Business Continuity Audit. Business Continuity Audit is an evaluation process carried out to evaluate the effectiveness and reliability of plans and procedures that have been established by an organization to ensure that the business can continue to operate or be restored after a disturbance or disaster occurs. This audit aims to assess the extent to which business continuity planning and strategies have been implemented well in the organization, as well as to identify areas that need improvement. Disaster recovery is a set of processes, policies and procedures designed to restore IT infrastructure, business operations and data after a disaster or serious disruption that could disrupt the operational continuity of an organization. Disaster recovery focuses on efforts to return systems and operations to a normal state following a significant disruption. These two concepts are interrelated and important for business continuity. Business continuity audits help organizations evaluate and improve plans and strategies needed to maintain business operations in emergency situations or disruptions, while disaster recovery refers to concrete actions taken to restore normal operations after a disruption or disaster occurs. A business continuity audit includes several stages, including 1. Risk assessment. Evaluate risks that may affect business continuity. This involves identifying potential disasters or disruptions that could occur and their impact on business operations. 2. Plan testing. Checking the effectiveness of the business continuity plan by testing emergency scenarios or simulating disaster situations to determine the extent to which the plan can function in practice. 3. Monitoring and review. Conduct regular monitoring of changes in the business environment and review of business continuity plans to ensure their accuracy, effectiveness, and relevance over time. Meanwhile, disaster recovery involves a series of concrete steps to return an organization's systems, operations, and infrastructure to normal conditions after a significant disruption or disaster occurs. This includes 1. Identification of recovery needs. Determine the priority of system, data, and service recovery based on their importance to business continuity. 2. Developing a disaster recovery plan. Designing strategies and procedures to restore systems, applications, and data to operational condition after a disaster or disruption. 3. Testing and maintenance. Conduct regular testing of the disaster recovery plan to ensure reliability and readiness to face emergency situations, and make changes or updates if necessary. 4. Recovery of business activities. Implement a recovery plan to return business operations to normal conditions as soon as possible after a disaster or disruption occurs. These two concepts are important to ensure that an organization is able to survive and adapt in the face of unexpected disruptions or disasters, and can return to operations quickly and efficiently after a disruptive event occurs. Benefits of business continuity and disaster recovery audits. There are many benefits to doing BCA and DR, including 1. Improve business continuity. BCA and DR can help organizations to remain operational in the event of a disaster or disruption, which can protect their revenue, reputation, and customers. 2. Reduce costs. BCA and DR can help organizations to reduce costs associated with disasters or disruptions, such as costs to restore systems and data, replace employees, and pay compensation. 3. Increase customer trust. BCA and DR can help organizations to increase customer trust by demonstrating their commitment to business continuity. BCA and DR are important investments for
organizations. 1. Improve business continuity. BCA and DR can help organizations to remain operational in the event of a disaster or disruption, which can protect their revenue, reputation, and customers. 2. Reduce costs. BCA and DR can help organizations to reduce costs associated with disasters or disruptions, such as costs to restore systems and data, replace employees, and pay compensation. 3. Increase customer trust. BCA and DR can help organizations to increase customer trust by demonstrating their commitment to business continuity. Tips for developing BCA and DR. Here are some tips for developing BCA and DR. 1. Support from management. Support from top management is important for the success of BCA and DR. Top management must understand the importance of BCA and DR and must be committed to providing the necessary resources. 2. Participation from employees. Participation from employees is important for developing effective BCA and DR. Employees must understand the risks facing the organization and must participate in the development of recovery plans. 3. Monitoring and updating. BCA and DR must be monitored and updated regularly. Organizations must identify new risks and develop new strategies to reduce those risks. By following these tips, organizations can develop effective BCA and DR that can help them remain operational in the event of a disaster or disruption. Develop a disaster recovery plan. DRP development can be a complex task. Here are some tips for developing DRP. 1. Get support from top management. Support from top management is important for the success of DRP. Top management must understand the importance of DRP and must commit to providing the necessary resources. 2. Create a DRP team. The DRP team should consist of representatives from all departments that are important for business continuity. The DRP team should be responsible for developing, testing, and maintaining the DRP. 3. Start with risk identification. The first step in developing DRP is to identify risks that could disrupt critical business functions. Risks can be identified through formal risk analysis or through brainstorming. 4. Set recovery objectives. Once risks are identified, the organization must set recovery objectives. A recovery objective is a desired time and data target for restoring critical business functions. Recovery goals must be realistic and achievable. 5. Develop a recovery strategy. The organization must develop a recovery strategy to achieve its recovery goals. Recovery strategies may include data backup and recovery, alternative work locations, and employee training. 6. Document the DRP. The DRP should be well documented and easy to follow. DRP documentation should include all information necessary to restore critical business functions. 7. Test DRP. DRP should be tested regularly to ensure its effectiveness. DRP testing can be done through simulations, tabletop exercises, or real-world tests. Details of DRP elements. 1. Identify risks. Risk identification is an important step in developing a DRP. Organizations must identify all risks that could disrupt critical business functions. These risks can be identified through formal risk analysis or through brainstorming. Formal risk analysis is a systematic process for identifying, evaluating, and mitigating risks. Brainstorming is an informal process for generating ideas. 2. Recovery goals. A recovery objective is a desired time and data target for restoring critical business functions. Recovery goals should be realistic and achievable. For example, an organization might set a recovery goal to restore its IT systems within 24 hours after a natural disaster. 3. Recovery strategy. A recovery strategy is a plan for achieving recovery goals. Recovery strategies may include data backup and recovery, alternative work locations, and employee training.
1. Data backup and recovery. Data backup is the process of making a copy of important data. Data recovery is the process of restoring data that has been backed up. 2. Alternative work locations. Alternative work locations are places where organizations can continue their operations if their primary facilities are damaged or unusable. 3. Employee training. Employee training is the process of preparing employees to restore critical business functions after a disaster or disruption. 4. Documentation. The DRP should be well documented and easy to follow. DRP documentation should include all information necessary to restore critical business functions. DRP documentation should include the following information. 1. Brief description of critical business functions. 2. Risks that could disrupt important business functions. 3. Recovery goals. 4. Recovery strategy. 5. List of important contacts. 6. Testing. DRP should be tested regularly to ensure its effectiveness. DRP testing can be done through simulations, tabletop exercises, or real-world tests. Simulation is testing that does not use real systems or data. Desk drills are tests that use real systems and data, but are conducted in a controlled environment. Real-world tests are tests that are conducted in an actual environment. Roles and responsibilities in DRP. The development and implementation of the DRP must involve all relevant stakeholders, including 1. Top management. Top management must provide the support and resources necessary to develop and implement the DRP. 2. DRP team. The DRP team should be responsible for developing, testing and maintaining the DRP. 3. Business function owners. business function owners must be responsible for identifying and evaluating risks that may disrupt their business functions. For employees must be trained to follow DRP in the event of a disaster or disruption.